And she left me, I know, saying she's going to stay. From the other day, says she a flap up on me, she says she go flip with the little shots, and she a pitch up on the rip. It's like she all forget about the royalness. My friend and company, she a follow me get the tip. Yo, round about she just a jump, she just a skip. So I'm to the others where you know you used to keep. So I'm to the king where you used to be with. Yo, when me sister that a aunt, a loyal, she just gone far, far away. And she left me, I know, saying she's going to stay. My princess gone far, far away. And she left me, I know, saying she's going to stay. I make the church down in the day, she make the church down in the night. And she knows that she was wrong, and she know that I was right. Want to royalist, the boy you not act polite. Well, me sister that you ready for put up a fight from the academy. Sister you have been hype, well your friend them you go follow the wrong type. My princess gone far, far away. And she left me, I know, saying she's going to stay. My princess gone far, far away. And she left me, I know, saying she's going to stay. From the other day, she just a flop up on me, sister, she go flip with the little shots, and she have itch up on her hip. She no remember about the king royalness. Well, the friend and company, she a follow me get the tip. So I run with the king, man, you used to be with. Yo, well, it seems like she see this, my princess gone far, far away. And she left me, I know, saying she's going to stay. My princess gone.
Well, it's Friday, the 9th of June. June is moving very fast. And we have overcast conditions. We have been getting rain. I saw we're in farmers in the southern areas of Manchester and some parts of St. Elizabeth have suffered heavy losses. The rain, 2 weeks ago, what we were talking about, drought. And drought was beating the farmers. As a matter of fact, the drought that we have had has been very negative for the farming sector. I want to welcome my viewers and listeners this afternoon. This is Rebel Radio, and I am Desmond Richards. As per usual, we have your plate filled with nutritious mental food as we try to provide you with information that you can use to keep you abreast of what is happening. And as I was saying, that the drought has impacted negatively the farming community, where domestic food production for the first part of the year has been down, I think, by 20%. But now that we have had some rains, farmers in southern Manchester and in St. Elizabeth have suffered heavy losses. Yes, heavy losses. And I know that one of the things we can look forward to is damage to the roads, infrastructure. So we are thankful for the rain nevertheless. I don't know what is happening in the catchment areas, if the catchment areas that supply the corporate area with water, if that has improved. I don't know. I know that we are under the strict water restrictions from the National Water Commission. Another thing that we have seen is that the MPs, the government MPs in the House, we have seen, we earlier this year we saw where after the Integrity Commission reported that they found the Prime Minister to be involved in matters that were of unbecoming nature. Well, as a matter of fact, it would be corruption. And no charges were filed against the Prime Minister. But we observed that since that time, that the government has, indicated its intention to tame, they want to shut down the Integrity Commission. One of the things that we have to do, and I'm talking about the Jamaican society now, civil society, we have to put up a fight in order to protect the Integrity Commission. Because one of the things that we must know, when it comes down to corruption, the leading players over the years, those who are connected, those whose names are called, those who have been charged, because one of the things that younger Jamaicans might not know, there are at least 2 or 3 members of parliament, JLP members of parliament, who have gone to prison as a result of corrupt practices. And what we know so far is that the politicians are the leading players when it comes on to corrupt practices in the country. So we cannot allow them to shut down the Integrity Commission. They don't want an Integrity Commission. No, they don't want. Those who are in power, and that includes those civil servants, the public sector, people who are in the public sector, they don't want a body that will prevent and shut down and detect and bring to public attention the corrupt practices and those who are involved. They don't want that. And therefore they will do anything that is within their power to shut down the Integrity Commission. And we have to do whatever is possible in order to ensure that the Integrity Commission stays alive. Because if they get a chance, what they will do is to shut down the Integrity Commission. We know that is what they will do. Right? That is exactly what they will do. So we have to do whatever is possible within our powers to ensure that it is kept alive. We are going to be talking to public commentator, Mr. Lucius White. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. You would have seen that the politicians, the members of parliament, they are leading a charge to shut down. They want to make the take away the powers of the Integrity Commission, and therefore, I am saying that the public has to put up a fight to ensure that the Integrity Commission stays alive, because the politicians are the ones who are they are the leading players when it comes on to corruption in Jamaica. I don't know why I lost you a while ago. Are you there? Hello? Yes, I don't know why I'm not getting through to Mr. Lucius White at all. I don't know why. I keep on losing him. I just don't understand the reason why this is happening at all. I'm going to try and get him again. Right? But so, as we were saying, that we have to do whatever is within our powers to ensure that the Integrity Commission is kept alive, man. Yes. Sir Lush.
No, I don't understand what happened.
I don't understand why I keep losing you on that number. Yes, but I was saying that we have to do whatever is possible to ensure that the Integrity Commission is kept alive. What are your thoughts on what has been happening so far?
Well, if you look at it carefully, the Integrity Commission was never set up to be an effective one. It was set up to be a face card. They appointed people of integrity and was prepared to use these people's reputation to give some sort of decency to what was going on.
Uh-huh.
So there was a cry for an anti-corruption body.
Yes.
They had the Office of the Contractor General that was making noise. You had numerous reports coming from the Auditor General, and you had some section of the private sector was making noise around the place. So then it became popular to want an anti-corruption body.
Right.
So the Integrity Commission was created, but not to be effective. But if you look at how it was modeled and hobbled, it was never created to be of any use except rubber stamp. Now, the body under pressure from the public as to what it is doing, keep on saying truthfully, we can't tell you what we are doing because we are not entitled to tell you what we are doing, and we can't tell you any result until it is brought before Parliament. And all of these kind of thing create a situation where you have a body that can take blame, but it has no teeth when it finds anything wrong. If the Integrity Commission finds something wrong,
Yes.
they can't do anything else. And somebody's going to say rubbish because under the law, there's a director who is to investigate and they have one who can prosecute. Even that is a fact. Because until and unless that cannot be overruled by the director of public prosecution, make no sense to say that the Integrity Commission can prosecute, because under the Constitution, the Director of Public Prosecution can enter into any criminal case and stop it at any time and does whatever the Director of Public Prosecution does.
Yes.
That is the Constitution.
Yes.
So if you're really giving the director of prosecution in the Integrity Commission
Yes.
power to prosecute, you have to ensure that they cannot be overridden by another body. No, you may say, oh, that's a matter of technical. But the truth is, whereas the director of prosecution in the Integrity Commission can be easily removed by Parliament, the director of public prosecution is protected by the Constitution.
Yes.
So nobody can go and fire the director of public prosecution.
No.
But if you remember,
That office is
there
protected.
was somebody at the Integrity Commission that refused to make amendment to his recommendation, and it was long that he wasn't there anymore.
Yes.
And that is why a number of people are not surprised that that matter that came up and the current director of prosecution just didn't prosecute. If you look at it, the wording of the finding didn't exonerate anybody. It just didn't prosecute.
You're talking about you're talking about the matter with the Prime Minister, right?
Oh yeah, oh good.
Yes.
Without saying it, everybody knows it. And so it is a case where the institution can be used to rubber stamp. And it is so obvious that impotent. Now, you have situations where the body has refused to sign off on the reports given to it. But that is all, it can only refuse, but it has no teeth to say that the person cannot act in their position until the matter is remedied. And altogether, when you take the whole thing into situation, we have a body that is being paid, but it is being paid to be a face guard.
Yes.
It is not being paid to carry out the public interest.
And therefore, sir, we members of the public,
The public,
we should
have a duty to demand that the Integrity Commission be unmuzzled it must be given the authority not only to investigate but to prosecute, and they must be protected. That the person or persons who carry out that is sufficiently protected in constitution rather than in law, because in law those parliamentarians will always go and adjust law.
So
But
therefore,
if they are protected by the constitution, it will make life more difficult.
so therefore, what you are arguing for is that we should ensure, or we should argue, or we should push for the Integrity Commission to be enshrined in the Constitution.
Yes. Put it this way, that when you put it in the Constitution, you also have to give the powers there. Because you see, the Constitution is designed to be what you call the guardrails to say what people cannot do.
Right.
And what you're finding is that people who are hungry will always find ways to make laws to make what they do legal. So you need to protect the people's rights by the Constitution to say you can't do this and can't do that. And if you look at how the matter of state of emergency has been abused, which is definitely an assault against us, and the attempt to hold it, you realize that we are dealing with dead people, dangerous people, and you're going to wake up in the morning and find that it's perfectly legal for the cronies who are connected to government to do anything, and nothing can happen.
Uh-huh.
If you look at it, cases involving even murder seem to get sidestepped in certain cases. So altogether, people, there are two institutions that need to be strengthened. Because the general party must be strengthened, but and funding.
Repeat what you said. I missed.
The commission must be strengthened and empowered. So when the Auditor General find all these discrepancies, the Integrity Commission can step across the line, take the information, and move on without being afraid that somebody from the DPP trying to overrule them.
Yes.
Or it goes to the DPP office and can't come out because they are so busy with other things.
Yes, yes.
So it
Lush,
public interest.
Lush, hold for me.
You cannot have anti-corruption bodies that have no teeth.
Yeah.
And the case are going into a judiciary system that don't have enough judges and prosecutors. So cases can take 5 years and cases is tried while they are shenanigans around.
Listen,
Hello,
Mr. White. Mr. White. Hold on, Mr. White. I want you hold on for me. The reception is very bad.
Very bad.
Yes. Just hold it for me there. Let us take a break and try and clear up the line. We are talking to Lucius White about the Integrity Commission. Let us take a break and try and clear up the reception. It is very bad. This is Rebel Radio. Yes, welcome back. And we're talking to Mr. Lucius White. Yes, Mr. White.
Yes.
Right.
As I was saying, you see,
Yes.
this matter of fighting corruption
Yes.
cannot be done on a piecemeal basis. You definitely need to strengthen the Integrity Commission.
Right.
But in doing so, you will have to go further than that. You'll also have to address the serious inadequacies that exist in the judiciary and the prosecution section of justice at the moment.
Right.
You cannot have cases that take 3-5 years to be resolved. There's need for reorganization, but there's also need for expansion. You need more judges, more court houses, you need more prosecutors, and you need the ancillary staff that need to go along with these people to allow the system to flow properly.
No, on that note, that's very interesting the point you raised there, because the JLP government want to establish its own court of appeal. In other words, they are not in favor of the Caribbean Court of Justice. And as you know, we are in the process of moving away, severing relationship with the monarchy. And that entails leaving the Privy Council. Now, as we speak right now, you are just identifying some of the shortages, some of the problems faced by our local court system. We don't have enough offices. We don't have enough personnel. And therefore, and funds too. Funds. So I don't know. I don't have no practicing attorney right now who is in agreement with Jamaica forming its own appeal court. Because right now the system is not delivering because of the inadequacies. And the other thing that, one of the things that the JLP, I recall, they expressed the belief that a Caribbean court of appeal will be subject, or can be subject, to political interference. Now, if that is their concern, I would like to know if the Jamaican Court of Appeal would be subject, if not subject, but would be likely to be subject to political interference. So I just can't see why they are going, or they want to go that way. Are you there? I don't know what is happening to Mr. White at all. We don't. I'm just losing him. I don't know why I keep losing you.
Well, I can't understand it, but whenever we are supposed to have a discussion, all kind of things go wrong.
Yes.
But I suppose it's part of life.
Yeah. Yes. So as I was saying to you that you just identified a number of shortages, some of the problems our court system faced, and the government want to set up its own court of appeal. You know that we have to leave the Privy Council, and therefore, instead of, they don't want the Caribbean Court of Justice, they want to set up their own court of appeal. We don't.
But
yes.
The funny thing about it is that I am not in favor of the Caribbean Court of Justice any more than I am in favor of the Privy Council.
Yes.
As a sovereign state, our jurisdiction must be a national effort.
Yes.
As far as I am concerned, if you need a third court, then you...
We lost him again. Yeah. We just not getting through what we're not having this phone system here is not working out at all. I don't know. Go on, Mr. White.
Yes. If you need a third court, you create it. But as a sovereign state, I am not a supporter of an external body constituted of people who are not nationals, who in any case are not living under the jurisdiction.
Yes.
To have the final say on the matter.
Okay.
I can't imagine any country, because this matter of the Privy Council is because you are not a sovereign state.
Yes.
Your king is who you appeal to when you appeal to the Privy Council.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So if you're getting rid of the king, you're automatically getting rid of the Privy Council whether you want to or not.
Yes.
No. It's for you to decide whether your court of appeal become your final court, or do you want to introduce a court above them, and then you will reorganize yourself and structure to facilitate that.
Okay.
But as far as I am concerned, that court ought not to be a foreign entity.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I can well appreciate the Caribbean Court of Justice as an arbitration court to deal with matters regarding CARICOM or conflicts between those people in CARICOM and ourselves.
Yes.
But I do not believe for one moment that whether the Privy Council or OAS or Caribbean Court of Justice should be the final court in our civil and criminal matters.
Okay.
You cannot be a sovereign state and do not have the right to make and interpret your laws.
Okay.
So the resistance that is being put up to the Caribbean Court of Justice, although it's not on the same grounds as I am, because I know it is because of their inferiority complex in believing that the Privy Council is the pure fount of justice, why they do not want to go to anywhere else.
Okay.
But you don't need to go outside of your country.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we have to leave it there for today. Well,
Right.
It's a very, very important point because we must leave the Privy Council, so we want to see what is there. I want to thank you very much for your contribution today, and we will continue.
My pleasure.
Okay. That was public commentator, Mr. Lucius White, and we were talking about the Constitution and other matters. It is interesting that about the Constitution, about the court of how we are going to deal with the our court of appeal, and what are some of the steps that we civil society must take right now to defend the Integrity Commission, because we cannot allow the Integrity Commission to be trampled. We just can't allow that. Just that it is not right. Right? With the right, this country has been tarnished by corruption over the years, right? And therefore, we have to do whatever we can to protect the country. We can't allow our country to be tarnished, and then we don't do anything about it. Hilton.
Program, got a connection, Bob.
Yes, I am hearing you. I
know, but I hear a buzz.
Yes.
That man, look like khaki.
I don't hear.
Khaki. That's it.
You're talking to somebody else, man.
Okay. Yeah. How are you? You say so? Does it give me 10 minutes? Is it possible? Is it possible to give me 10 minutes?
All right, I'll try and call you back. I'll try and call you back. Okay. All right.
Yes, my love. Until our set.
Yes. So as I was saying, that we must do whatever is possible to protect the Integrity Commission. Yes. Now another disturbing piece of information that surfaced came up in the news today, that an 8-year-old girl, 8-year-old, was kidnapped and her throat slashed and she was dumped in Kingston. She resides in Portmore. She attended school in Portmore. She was kidnapped from Portmore, and her kidnappers attempt to kill her. Now, what could a 8-year-old? What could she have done to deserve that kind of treatment? No. These are some of the things that we have to be concerned about in the country. Over the years, our children have been attacked, killed, maimed by adults, right? And the authorities over the years, when these dreadful things happen, they make statements about what is going to be done. But very little has been done to protect our children. The children are being badly treated. And when you treat children this kind of way, what kind of adults you expect? What kind of adults? Now this little girl, earlier this year, you will remember that another little girl down in Hanover there was killed, right? Again, on her way from school, right? Listeners will remember up in Stony Hill about 2 or 3 years ago, another little girl killed, right? We are treating our children badly. The news out of St. Ann also revealed that the police have captured the killer, a man who is alleged to have been involved in the killing of retired public health inspector Mr. Downer. You remember Mr. Downer? 90-year-old public servant who was killed at his house last week. You remember, well, the police have captured his alleged killer. That was good news. We hope that he will be, taken to court forthwith, and where the law can have its course, right? The situation, the crime situation in the country remains, totally out of control. Totally out of control. There's not a day when you can escape the news of some terrible thing happening in the country. Every day, we have a terrible killing in the country. No, it is just totally unacceptable. Well, boy, I don't know, but I don't have an answer. I seriously don't have an answer. But what I can say, that whatever is being done right now to address the crime problem, they are not working out. They are certainly not working out. And the situation, yes, the numbers go on. When we look at the number of murders last year, for the first 5 months of last year compared to the first 5 months of this year, yes, the numbers are down, but they are still too high. They are still too high. No, it is way too high. We have been having over 1,000 Jamaicans murdered every year for the past 20 years. And we hope that, for example, this year, we would like to see a 50%. That is where my head is. No less than a 50% reduction in the number of murders will make any sense to me. Yes. No. It is terrible. Well, let us go for a break. Coming up at 3, well, we will be having our constitutional debate. And we'll be talking to Dr. Lloyd Barnett, and we'll be talking to the Advocates Association. So let us take a break.
First time I laid eyes with you, you teased and said I'm untrue. Why? Yet deep in my heart I knew I was in love with you. So caress me, girl, embrace me, girl. You never caress me. Whoa, 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 boy. Caress me, girl. Embrace me, girl. You never ever go astray. Caress me, girl. Embrace me, girl. Ooh. Caress me, girl. Embrace me, girl. You never ever go away. Caress me, girl. Embrace me, girl. Whoa, 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 boy. Caress me, girl. Embrace me, girl. Never have to go away. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Ooh.
Yes. Welcome back to Rebel Radio, And at this time we want to go over to the United States and talk to our own Hilton Dennis, journalist and author. Hilton?
Yes, Mr. Desmond Richards, Prezi as I call you. I'm right here.
How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. And how are you?
Well, I am supposed to be doing well too.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
No.
I hope you are.
Yes. No, you would have seen, because I know you keep abreast of what is happening here. You would have seen that the Auditor General,
Yes.
the politicians are going after the Auditor General. What do you make of what you have been?
Is it the Auditor General or the head of the Integrity
the-
Commission? No, they
the
go after
integ-
the
no, the
auditor
integrity
as a style.
Thanks for the correction. It's the Integrity Commission I'm talking about.
Yes.
Right.
Well, Desmond, you and I have covered the affairs of the country over the same decades,
Yes.
right? The last 4 decades. That's not a short time span, even though we are young men, right? And we started
old.
from we were in the primary school. We started in journalism,
Yes.
right? And we know that there was an office of the contractor general. Now,
Yes.
these commissions of parliament are created when conditions warrant their creation, such as corruption, a high level of corruption in public service, right? And the taxpayers' money not being accounted for properly.
Yes, sir.
Illicit enrichment by public officials. You have in relation to the indicum, there may be a high level of extrajudicial killing. In relation to child care, right, where you have the agency that protects children, there is a high level of abuse, abduction, or killing of children. In relation to the general constitutional rights of the citizen, you have the office of the public defender. So it's usually in response to public outcry, public concern, matters highlighted by the media, why these entities are created.
Of course.
Are you following me?
Yes.
And when they are created with fanfare, and there is an undertaking by the legislators to give them the level of autonomy, the people who are selected to head these bodies, right? The criteria for their selection are not basic minimum criteria.
Yes.
You have a man of the caliber of Justice Seymour Panton heading the Integrity Commission.
Yes, sir.
Right? Some people are not qualified to bear their hands before justice.
Yes.
They could not stand before him in the court of law when he presided.
No.
But they would dare to now address him as if he is their little handyman.
Yes.
And this notion where our legislators are behaving as if they are sovereign, that they have replaced the monarchy, and therefore the people are their subjects. But when they come to seek power, when they come to seek the vote at election time, the people are their they are the people's servants.
Yes.
And they are giving the people manifestos of how they will serve them to improve the standard of living, to make them safer, to deliver better justice, and then do the opposite when they're in office. I mean, how can we, right, say that the Integrity Commission, because they announce their investigations, or they announce what is impeding them in those investigations, be out of line? That's what we in journalism call censorship.
Of course.
They do it with the media.
Yes.
And now they want to do it with these bodies,
Yes.
right, that are seeking to bring about justice, equity, and fairness for the people.
Yes.
They want to condition the conduct of the business of these entities, right? They want to castrate them, because the Integrity Commission, when it was under consideration, I was against it because it is a consolidation, a big white elephant consolidation of the Office of the Contractor General and several other bodies.
Yes.
And I knew that with that unwieldy structure, it would be more difficult to be focused and perform its function. And all that would happen is this circus. It is hardly in existence, and they are spewing bile at it.
Yes.
Over the same things that they were attacking the Office of the Contractor General and that they have attacked Indicom.
Of
Now,
course.
it is the press that has to stand between them and set this right. The press is too complicit in folly.
Yes. Yes.
Because the press is polarized.
Yes. Because Hilton, you know.
Yes.
You know that when it comes, one of the things that we cannot deny in Jamaica is that the country is tarnished with corruption, right?
Yes.
And the leading players in these corrupt practices, the leading players are the politicians. For politicians,
Yeah, well, I don't want it to even appear as if it's a politician bash, because the role of the media is not to bash politicians. We need governance. We need good governance. We need political leadership.
What I am stating, Hilton, what I am stating as a fact, that in Jamaica, and as a matter of fact, it could be, you could extend it globally, but I'm dealing with Jamaica. The politicians are the leading players in these corrupt practices. They are the ones.
And I would like to say this one, that they are not exclusively so, because some of the matters under investigation involve other members of the society and the way in which, right,
Yes.
they corrupt and influence the politicians in order to get benefits. So let us be very straight, because I know how it must feel for the politicians. They are under the spotlight, and the people who cause them to be are the ones that will spur the media on, right, to put them in the spotlight. A politician cannot be corrupt unless you're somebody offering bribes, or unless you're somebody getting a contract and paying something under the table, right? right? So
But-
there can be illicit enrichment
No.
unless there's something to be enriched.
No, but
So we
hold
have
on.
to, we have
No,
to
but
understand
Hilton,
that we can't make sure
Hilton,
how wealthy politicians are in relation to salary. That we don't see where
No,
the
no,
wealth that
no.
they get comes from.
Hilton, hold a second. There are at least 3 politicians who have gone to jail in Jamaica for corrupt practices.
Uh-huh.
3 of them.
Uh-huh.
And in
Uh-huh.
and in all and in most of the corrupt in the public sector so far. When you look when the politicians, they are the ones who are at the top. They are the ones who are the leading players. I am not saying that other public officials are not involved, you know. But you have ministers.
But the Integrity Commission has a broad remit, and it's not limited to the conduct of politicians or legislators.
No,
as we call them, but the
not
public
at
sector,
all.
on a whole.
Yeah, not at all. The Integrity Commission is there to protect and ensure that both private and public, that we do things the right way. That's what the Integrity Commission is there for. It is not set up as a body to monitor politicians. No, that is not its role.
But there are so many of these commissions, and the concern I have is that the creators of them, the legislators, are the ones that are impeding their function.
Yes, that's what I'm.
The ones that are changing the rules of engagement as we go along.
Yes, because
they are clearly defined.
Because they don't.
And we stand with the commission and its leadership and its pronouncements that it will not be cajoled and bullied and whatever you want to say. When the politicians get up in the house and talk nonsense and the media reports it and says, what is there to see in the nonsense if we understand how the origin of these commissions of parliament and what their roles and responsibilities are? What is there to be reporting and to be making stars and idols of these politicians for when they are doing folly?
Yes, sir.
Why are they attacking these commissions? They created them.
Yes.
Why don't they allow them to freely function and perform the duties they are established to create without this nonsense?
And
stop the censorship. Stop the castration. Stop destroying careers of people who, have built their reputation over many years, delivering good public service for low pay and with low morale. We must stop glamorizing our politicians beyond what is merited.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because they must live, just how we must live within the money, they must live within the structure of the Constitution that makes them the people's servants, not sovereigns.
Not sovereign. And as you rightly pointed out,
and it's all the more reason we must pay attention as we claim to be going through constitutional reform to change the governance structure.
Yes. I agree with you.
It must be clearly emphasized while you are leaders and you have authority and you are accountable with respect to that authority. You are a servant.
Yes, sir.
You're a servant master.
Yeah.
So if you're a servant, you must have a master overall.
Yes.
And it don't reach God before it reaches people. When you're not serving the people right, God will hear the people's outcry, not the politicians' outcry.
No, not at all. Not at all. Right.
The blood of the people will cry out to God.
Yes, man. And right now I believe what we should be doing, we must nurture the IC, the Integrity Commission. It is a young organization.
We must stand behind the press.
Yes. We
must stand behind the Integrity Commission and such commissions of Parliament.
Yes, of course. We need it. Right. Well,
but we have to spend some more time examining the conduct of the press, which has led to the breakdown.
Of course.
In the controls of the society.
Yes. Well,
the polarization of the press.
When next we talk, Hilton, that will be our subject, the polarization of the press, right?
That's correct, sir. And I will be in for quite a space. Sorry for the noise. I happen to be outdoors, but I have to keep my appointment with you.
Okay, thank you very much. And to be continued.
Okay, you're most welcome.
Yeah,
We continue at any time you wish, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you. That is journalist and public commentator, author, Mr. Hilton Dennis. You know, and he's one of those who has led the fight over the years for proper governance. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Do it for your best life, right? Go check your HIV status, right? So keep your life trending, don't pretending. Me I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda house it, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it, don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life, do it.
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime, but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact Crime Stop today.
Jamaica.
Best decision ever.
Feel the sand between your toes and the gentle waves of the sea on your skin. Feel the warm Jamaican breeze lift your spirits and nourish your soul. Escape to exactly what makes your heart beat. You will love every moment. Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, 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 yes. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Yeah, baby, dance, baby, dance, baby, dance a little more for me, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. I've been watching you across the room. Wish I could tell you how I feel. If I could get closer, a little bit closer, then I show you the deal is all night. I mean, uptight, and then you're inside, and then I'm alright. Cause you're so clean, if you know what I mean. I mean to hold you and never let go. You need to be here in my arms. Hey babe, my shoulder. You need to be here in my arms. Hey, hey, hey. Don't let the waiting be too long. Can hardly wait a minute more. Say it excuse to the crew you're with. Come feel rubber that hardcore. All night I've been uptight and then you inside and then I'm alright because you're so clean. If you know what I mean to hold you and never let go. You need to be.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, and we are at the time now when we want to talk about our constitutional debate. You know, we are in the process of breaking relations with the monarchy. And one of the things that we have on our agenda is the adjustment, what kind of adjustments we are going to make to our constitution. We have with us well-known constitutional lawyer, Dr. Lloyd Barnett, and Mr. Robert Stevens from the Advocate Network. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, yes. And Mr. Stevens, you know Dr. Barnett, right?
Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't know Dr. Barnett?
Okay.
He's a legend.
I think that most Jamaicans would know Dr. Barnett. Or if they don't know him personally, they must have heard that name because that's a very popular and long-standing name in the Jamaican society. But Robert, I would like you to. I want to start with you by you telling our listeners, you know, what is the Advocate Network, and tell us what do you have on your mind, what the Advocate is saying about the Constitution.
Well, the Advocates Network was formed about 2 years ago, and it has been very vociferous on issues related to good governance and issues related to justice. We have been particularly outspoken on things related to corruption, and you know, we want to see a serious attempt at reducing corruption in Jamaica. We want to see good governance throughout the entire system. We want to see a new constitution that is widely discussed and debated, and we therefore are looking at ways that we can have open discussions of the Constitution by, in particular, the youth. Because when you look at, for instance, the last election, we only had about 37% of the people who were registered to vote go out and vote, which indicates that we have a level of apathy that is, you know, really pretty bad. So we need to begin to get new people into the system, and in particular those over 18 who are now eligible to vote. But secondly, we need to involve a wider cross-section of the people of Jamaica in something as important as a discussion of a new constitution. One of the things we're organizing for this summer is a schools debating competition. And I have just gotten word that we will be in a position to launch the program next week. And we're inviting all the schools in Jamaica to get their debating teams up to speed so that they can debate it, because it's part of this whole public education program for the people of Jamaica. And let us face it, any new constitution is really going to benefit the youth more than people like Dr. Barnett and myself.
And me too.
Who, you know, we're kind of the older generation, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
Though I still regard myself as a young boy, but you know, that's beside the point. However, really and truly, we don't think that this thing needs to be rushed overnight. The original words out of the Constitution Committee was that they wanted to put a bill together and get it to the Parliament by the end of May of 2023. Well, that has now gone, And clearly they have listened to what we have been saying, because I don't hear no new indication of when the date will likely be. But the point is, we're insisting that it must be widely debated, and we must get the inputs of people and involvement of people in understanding what the Constitution is, how can they give their inputs into forming a new Constitution, and what are the critical elements of a new Constitution. Maybe I've gone on a little long, but you do understand where I'm coming from.
Yes. Okay. And I may ask you, so based on what you know about the existing Constitution, what are some of the changes that the Advocate Network is advocating for a new Constitution?
To be honest with you, up to now, we have discussed it internally. We have discussed it with a number of other bodies, because we have had various fora where we have discussed it with youth, etc. But we really believe that before we come out with a position, what we should do is listen to the people of Jamaica.
Okay.
We should hear what people are concerned about, and we should take note of it. None of us are experts, even though we know that Dr. Barnett is an expert on constitutional law.
Yes.
The fact is that we're going into new territory.
Yes.
We need to look at what exists throughout the world. What sorts of systems are out there? What constitutions are out there? What ways do governments run? And who are successful and who are not? And then let us begin to look at what we would like to see for our future. And we must ensure that we are not necessarily tied to what used to was, because what used to was cannot are.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, in other words, the Advocate Network is saying that there needs to be a wider public consultation in order to get from the people, hear from the people, and then you will form your position from that.
Correct. And furthermore, many of our people need to be educated. Some of them don't know what a constitution is, as I said.
Lots of Jamaicans don't know.
Especially the youth, who have been, most apathetic. I mean, most of them nowadays are involved in TikTok and getting online and playing games and all that. The fact is this: we've got to engage them in this process very seriously, and we believe that the way to do so is to organize debates among the schools. We also believe that there need to be debates among the universities and other youth groups. But the first phase is tackling the schools, which will be on holiday in a few days. And what we want to do is catch them between June and August so that we can make them focus on discussing the Jamaican Constitution for the future.
Okay, that makes sense for me. Dr. Barnett, you recall that the minister was supposed to address the House this week. I think that was the 6th, and to bring us up to date on where the constitutional authority is as far as. But I don't know. I didn't hear much, Dr. Barnett.
Yes, she gave her contribution to the sectoral debate. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was at a time when I couldn't listen. I just heard a little part of it towards the end.
Yes.
And by then, she had dealt with the constitutional reform project.
Yes.
But I want to go back to what some very good friend has said.
Yes.
Because the realization of the fact that our young people have not been involved, not been engaged in matters of government and constitutional system has long been understood by CAFE, of which I'm chairman. And we have had debates organized in the schools. We have had democracy clubs established in schools. And we have tried, it's difficult, to engage the young in studying this. Unfortunately, as you know, it was taken out of curriculum, which is very unfortunate. We hear that it is being restored, but what is being restored is really not truly civics, from what I understand.
Yes.
So we need to insist on civics being an important part of the development of our young people. And Cafe has done a lot of work, is doing a lot of work in relation to this. Cafe doesn't go out and make, publicize what it's doing, so it's not often appreciated that it does things even when it's not election time.
Yes.
But I strongly support the position that we should concentrate on bringing our young people up to date. There's another aspect of it in that the next enumeration period in September is an opportunity for a lot of young people who would reach 18 by that time and are not yet registered to become registered so that they can participate in an important part of the democratic process.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we have been, launching a campaign among young people to make sure that they look out for the advertisements so enumeration and become enumerated so that they can participate in the democratic process.
Yes, because the young people, as we all are, and that's we all agree, they are turned off from the political system.
Yeah.
Yes, turned off.
But they turn off from many things because there's so much that attracts their attention now. I mean, politics was something very attractive to me as a young person. I mean, not from a purely academic point of view, because there were so many other attractions, limited attractions, now they can just sit down inside their room and look at their computer.
Yes. Yes. So it is more difficult to get to them, but it is very important, because if they don't get, they must get involved with this process, because this process will impact their lives. And
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that is a critical point, that, I mean, I'm even talking to my grandson who is 13 years old. And I'm saying to him, that, look, you have to show more interest in what is happening around you in the society. Where is the country going? What are the issues that we should be focusing on in terms of development for the future? If we are going to leave a country that is going to be sustainable and is not going to sink under the sea, we have to begin to look at things like our environmental protection, the way that we deal with our people. Can we continue to ignore people who are in the ghettos or in the squatter settlements? We've got to bring them to be a part of the main role playing in Jamaica, which is part of the citizenry that is recognized as people who are there that are taxpayers, etc. Now, one of the things is the whole question, for instance, of land tenure. We tend to believe that the only way that people can borrow money is if they have a title. Foolishness. If you have a long-term lease on a property, you can take that into the bank and get a loan to be able to fix up your house.
Yes.
So if we can move our so-called ghetto areas to give them some security of tenure, what you will find is that the majority of them, particularly those where you put in proper infrastructure, water, sewage, etc., you will find that their standard of living will go up overnight because they suddenly start taking pride in their own little plot of land and their own house, and they will want to improve it. And if we put in the services in these areas, if we make sure that there are playgrounds and we put in the necessary social services, you would be amazed to see the level of crime drop to zero because people feel as if you're paying attention to them. A lot of people in this country now feel as if they're totally marginalized because they're ignored. You know what I mean? It's like them don't exist. And we can't continue. We can't continue running a country like that. Instead of focusing on improving the pay at the top for the politicians, what we should be doing is focusing a lot more attention on improving the lot for the bottom.
Yes.
You understand? And that really upsets me because our priorities are totally wrong.
Yes. And one of the things that I want to point out, when you move around the country and you look at how the ordinary person has developed, when you look at housing schemes, for example, and you see how people develop their property, you can start the Jamaican people have an interest. If you provide, as you said, if you provide them with the amenities, they will develop their amenities. They will develop them up, and you'll be surprised to see how they can transform these communities into real residential looking places. So, as you said, sir, I am in agreement with that. If you just provide, just help the people, just give them something to hold on to, and they will improve on it. I'm certain of that. Yes.
And by the way, the experience of all the international organizations that have worked in these areas, the IDB, the World Bank, etc., is positive. And it has happened in many countries. I was in Colombia a few years ago and went into some slum areas that were awful, worse than Jamaica. But guess what? Many of those have turned around. I went to Panama. Panama had a historical area of Panama that was run down. The government decided they're going to upgrade it and improve it. And all of a sudden now, it is one of the wonders of the world almost, because it has come back so vibrant and full of life, and everybody wants to go there. This was the whole idea behind development of places like Port Royal. If you go to Mobay and you look at what is happening, we're developing a little strip along the coast with beautiful beaches and beautiful buildings and hotels and all that, right? And on the other side of the road is a whole slum. You have squatters. Yes. We are not making the benefits of development spread among the people of Jamaica. It's being basically consumed and earned by a small percentage of people who, with all the greatest will and intent in the world, they're not really interested in dealing with sharing that. Yes. What they want is, to get richer and richer and richer and forget about the poor.
Yes, sir.
We have to change our approach to running our country to be more sustainable, to be more focused on the development of the majority of the people of the country rather than just a small minority at the top.
Yes, yes. Dr. Barnett, I one of the things that I would like for you to deal with is that some questions, and we have sorry, we have dealt with, for example, Dr. Barnett. Dr. Barnett?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah. For example, the question of I think franchise, meaning and importance.
Yeah, that is what we've been talking about, because
yes,
unless the people are involved, then they are overlooked.
Yes.
And it means that we shouldn't let the ball drop, because let us take the downtown Kingston project. There was an initiative to have cleared up downtown and renovated it, in which the private sector were engaged. And then I know from private sector persons that they were interested, and then they couldn't get any response from the government. And we have good ideas, we have people trying, but when things arise, it shouldn't be left to a small minority only to push it. I mean, there are basic things in Jamaica which arise and which demand national attention. Take the simplest thing like the removal of garbage.
Yes, sir.
It affects everybody. But we allow these things to drift on and on for decades and don't pursue it. I mean, this is something that citizens must come together and demand that attention be paid to them.
Yes.
I think we have been a little fall in our efforts to get commitment to improvement.
Yes, yes.
I mean, if you know, Dr. Barnett, when you look back, certainly one of the things that we can say that Mr. Siaga was very successful at was cleaning up downtown Kingston. And he had a lady in charge, Shirley Williams, who, I mean, was like a magician. She pushed out there and got so much cooperation from business people and private sector and everybody. And the town of Kingston looked so much better. But guess what? We're fallen back into a situation where it is in almost total neglect. It's terrible.
Yes, terrible. Yes.
And really, it can't be just one hand clapping. Government must lead, but the people and the communities and the various businesses must come together and form alliances in each little district to ensure that the entire community is cleaned up. And we will have to have a very efficient collection system. And more than that, we should be composting a lot of our waste and taking plastic, for instance, and separating it and recycling that. You know, there's so many things that need to be done in those areas, but it requires leadership from the government side and the participation of the citizens and the private sector.
And that is one of the issues right now as far as the Constitution is concerned, because
a lot of what we've been talking about is not the Constitution, you know.
No.
A lot of people think constitutions can create social welfare and moral obligations and whatnot. The Constitution doesn't do that. It just provides a framework.
Yes.
And I think we overlook the fact that within any form of constitution, success is only achieved by the endeavors of the people, as they are calling their leaders to account, and by their demanding improvement.
That is true.
It's not the Constitution itself.
That is true, and that is why when you listen to some of the suggestions, people want this. They want a lot of issues to be included in the Constitution, and because they feel the people have been neglected over the years. So, for example, they would like to see free health care in the Constitution, right? They want to see free education in the Constitution. Now, these are good ideas, but when you put these ideas into the Constitution, one of the questions that come up is that how will they be delivered? How will these services be delivered? Because it is going to require, as both of you pointed out, the attention and effort of the people to ensure that they get the leaders and those in charge to deliver these services. The Constitution alone won't be able to deliver them, right?
I would love to hear Dr. Barnett's views on that.
But I just said that constitutions provide on their framework. It's the policies and the application, the consistency in the endeavors. Those are the things which make the difference. There are countries which have succeeded with different types of constitution. And the whole idea that you throw over one system and it's going to cause improvement is wrong, because a lot of countries have thrown over their system, including countries which have our system have thrown it over, and they've gone into decay and disruption, you know, so that people believe that constitutions solve problems. The Constitution is a mechanism that you use. And if you use it effectively, then you get results. If you don't use it effectively, you get no results.
Yeah.
Totally correct.
Yeah. And one of the things, gentlemen, that we are faced with right now is when we talk about public consultation. This is one area that it is going to be difficult, you know, because first of all, a lot of Jamaicans don't have any knowledge about the Constitution, right? Now, the other issue that we are faced with is the political division in the country, right? Because if and I would like you, both of you comment on this. What I am seeing, if the both parties don't collaborate, in other words, if they don't agree on the constitutional changes, it is going to be very difficult to achieve.
Well, I think the whole idea of establishing a constitutional committee was to bring together, varying views and all that. The problem I have is that several critical groups have been left out of that committee, number one. Number two, the speed with which the chairman of that committee or the co-chairman wanted to move it wasn't realistic, okay? And what we really need to do is recognize that there's a whole generation. I think the last time that you had any major constitutional discussions was in the early 2000s. So you have youngsters between the age of, let's say, 10 and 30 who have had very little exposure to any discussions about the Constitution.
Yes.
You may have some oldsters who in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s were involved.
Yeah.
But even that group is limited in terms of their understanding. And let us really put the thing on the table now and seriously address some of the flaws and some of the weaknesses in our current Constitution and deal with it in a comprehensive way rather than just trying to say, okay, let's get rid of the king. Everybody already basically agree. I think 80 to 90% of the people of Jamaica say, look, let's move on from the king. But that is really just the beginning. The fact is that there are so many other things when you read the current Constitution that are tied up in there that we need to look at and examine carefully and propose changes to that will make it far more efficient and effective.
Yes, of course. Yes, and that is where groups like your group and what we are doing here now, that's what we are trying to do. But
well, we're launching our program. I know that the Constitution Committee is also working on this, but we are launching our program this coming week, basically. And what we are going to say is, look, first of all, let there be transparency with respect to information. Let everybody in Jamaica be able to understand that this information is available online. You can go online and you can read about the Constitution. You can look at the details of how it was, first of all, the 1961-62 Constitution, and then the changes that took place, particularly in 2011. And you can look at all the other recommendations of the various committees. Read up on it. Understand. Look at other constitutions in other countries. What can we learn from those that are successful? And how can we implement some of those things here? Let us really begin to have a serious discussion about constitution change.
Yes, yes. Dr. Barnett, in our system of government, the one that we have right now, is that I would like you to just explain for us that the ceremonial president is one who would play a role similar to what the Governor General plays now.
Yes,
but
essentially a formal position.
Yes.
The value of that, the argument in favor of having a ceremonial president is that in a society in which you have partisan division, there is an argument that you should have some person who is non-partisan and represents a national identity and national interest. So as to give an atmosphere of unity, so that it is the symbolic importance of that position that is the justification for having it. But there are countries that exist without any ceremonial president or ceremonial head of state.
Yes.
And that is one of the decisions you have to make, whether the value of having this non-partisan formal head of state is justified by the cost of having such a position.
Yes. When you look at Dr. Barnett.
Hold on, you want me to give another view on that issue?
Yes.
The question of a head of state. We could have a situation where that person is independently voted on, but is not in any way linked to either of the major political parties.
Okay.
The other option.
You can't achieve that if the president is going to have any power. I mean, it is just.
Well, the point is that if you're looking for an arbiter, then maybe that is the way we should be going. However, the other option is, as Dr. Barnett said, you don't have anybody who is in that position. And you do have a situation where you have a prime minister and a leader of the opposition, and hopefully a balance that is not as biased as it currently is, where, you have some sort of checks and balances in the system. But to be honest with you, one of the things that is important is for these discussions to take place in the public domain, for them not to be taking place in closed quarters and within the confines of areas where
the Constitutional Reform Committee has now announced and committed itself to having a wider exposure and more public discussions. We have started, and I believe during the next few weeks you will see more of that. I mean, I have myself personally been very involved in public discussions. This is one, but I prepare articles, I prepare the Q&As, which affairs in conjunction with the Jamaica Observer been publishing every week. And, the whole idea of public education and public participation and discussion is something which I strongly support. I mean, I've been involved in that all my life, so, it doesn't require a government to tell me to do it. I will do it anyhow.
Yes.
Well, I think you and I are in full agreement. The fact is this, though, that the way that the Constitutional Committee started out, in particular with the statements by the co-chairman or chairwoman, the fact is that it came across as being almost, dictatorial. And I'm glad to hear that they are now changing and recognizing the importance of public discussion and discourse and education and getting people involved, because to me, that is so critical. And that is not something that can be done in a few weeks. It has got to be spread over a period that is far more extensive and is seriously committed to, not just in terms of talk, but also in dollars, because it's going to cost a lot in order to get people to be involved.
Okay. But gentlemen, but when you...
I have to go, sir, so if you don't mind, have a good rest of the day.
Before you go, Bobby, I want you to look at this. Just look at the Guyanese model. You have a prime minister and an executive president. The president would be the CEO, and you have a prime minister.
When you look at things,
yes,
you must not look into what is written, but you must also look at how it works.
Yes.
Right? I don't think you have picked a good example.
Yes.
Yeah, let's recognize that I agree with you, Dr. Barnett. Some of the examples we can tout as out there, you also have to determine whether it is successful or not.
Yeah, I served on remember Professor Stewart had been appointed to devise methods for improving the responsibility of parliamentarians, training and so on.
Yes.
Right.
And he had prepared a very good report.
Which was in 1991.
Yeah, which was not been adopted. I mean, we talked about it now, but he made all the recommendations. But he strayed into the question of constitutional reform and recommended that we adopt the presidential system and cited countries like Brazil, Venezuela, Chile, and those countries. Now we have seen what has happened in those countries. So that you can't just put on a form and just say you're going to adopt it, because the fact of the matter that all basic form is, although a lot of people keep talking about Westminster market, all basic form is an international market. There are lots of countries outside of the Commonwealth who have the parliamentary system, and they are the most successful countries in the world. A lot of people are talking about parliamentary system and republicanism without understanding the differences and the experiences worldwide.
Yes.
One of the other things that we need to throw into the pot is the whole question of separating the role of a member of parliament as a legislator and the role of a minister of government. And the question is, should MPs be the ones who are put in ministerial positions, or should we choose people that are qualified and best suited to be able to hold those positions?
That's undemocratic, because we're talking about putting people in power to make policy to govern us who have not been chosen by any part of the population.
Fine, but all I'm saying is that in other countries, you have a far more flexible system where the people who are the administrators, because right now, we have permanent secretaries who are supposed to be in charge of the ministries from a management perspective. But if you look at the situation that is prevailing, to a large extent, the ministers are the ones who are basically dictating everything. And many of the heads of the civil service are compromised in many cases because they are put in a position where they either follow what the minister said or they're out.
And that's why you have so many ministers.
Agreed. So there is I certainly don't have all the answers, and I'm not putting on the table, nor is the Advocates Network putting on the table any so-called solutions at this time. We will have our opinions, but we would like to just see a lot more debate and discussion and coming to the fore of opinions from the majority of the people of Jamaica. Okay?
Okay, Bobby. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yes.
All the best. Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yes. Dr. Barnett.
Go ahead.
Yes. No, you raised a very important point a while ago, the parliamentary system, because one of the things that, as you said, is that let us look at how the model are working. So yes, it is on paper, but in practice, how it works. Because, Dr. Barnett, what we have in Jamaica, we have had a system that has been working since 1944, a political system. Now, one of the things that I see, it is going to be very difficult to introduce changes to this system, it is not going to be easy.
Well, see, to change the system, really change the system, would require great consensus. We're not going to get that.
No.
It's better to improve the system that we have.
Yes.
And which has proven to work successfully in many parts of the world.
Yes.
It is I consider the most successful system. You just need to improve the way in which it works and ensure that you have the checks and balances, which many countries have developed. And we sometimes condemn our system, but Jamaica has developed a number of institutions which are the envy of the rest of the world. Our constitution, our electoral commission, for instance, is a very efficient and effective body, which is not equal in any developing country, in my view. There is an integrity commission which is growing, which has been, but which is a great idea and which is not duplicated in many parts of the world, including developing countries. So that we have made some progress. I mean, we can be impatient, but We have to remember that a lot of these things are developed over centuries sometimes and not over decades.
Yes.
You know, so we have not done that badly. We tend to condemn ourselves, but it's not as bad as people make out.
Yes, and as you say a while ago, and we have our system is something that we have been using. So it is not a new system.
You know,
right?
And we must support those things which are contributing to improvement and development.
Yes.
For instance, when Mr. Golden was Prime Minister, you remember he established a system in Parliament in which the committees were chaired by opposition members?
Of course, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we have changed that system and there has been no public outcry.
No, that is...
Because that was the method by which you increase the accountability.
Yes.
Of the government ministers.
Yes. So
and all you needed to have done is develop that system and make it more efficient.
You see, Dr. Barnett, one of the things that we have in Jamaica, is that you see the public response to these important policy matters. We are too, in other words, we are too laid back on it. Because, for example, and I have to say that as a member of the media, that the media has let us down in that respect. Because these are issues that should never be out. In other words, the media has reported on them, but they just allow them, these reports must be followed up.
Yes, there's a law to drop.
Yes.
Look at local government elections. How often it has been postponed. Yeah. And the people's basic democratic right to vote. Yeah. And you denied it. And the media made it at the beginning, but they forget it.
Yes, of course.
It's not, it's no longer big news.
Yes. And then, you as I said, the public view is often laid back because what has happened is one of the problem with that. You have a divided public. Issues which, so the JLP supporters are not going to make any noise about the fact that it was this JLP administration, it was a JLP administration that made that change. And then this JLP administration has changed it. And then you find that JLP persons, supporters, they're not going to make any noise about it. And so it would be, if it was a PNP administration, the PNP people would be silent.
Other 50% of the population.
Yes, would be silent. And
kind of people them.
Yes, and that is why the response from the public to these important matters has been, I have to say, just lukewarm. Because if look at the constitutional debate that we're having, unless the political parties whip up their people, they are not going to come out and be part of this debate, And to my surprise, sir, that the intelligentsia, they too have gone silent. The last, I recall you saying to me that the Jamaica Bar Association is preparing its position on the constitutional debate. Well, I am looking forward to that. But if you listen to the voices of the intelligentsia on these matters, they are way too silent, right? Way too silent. We have some questions here that you should take the rest of the time to deal with. For example, separation of powers, and what are the powers referred to in the term separation of powers? What you want to do?
Yeah, because government powers and activities are usually divided into three basic groups.
Yes.
The executive, that is the persons and the organs that make policies
Yes.
and formulate programs, enforce the law, and implement the policies and programs. That's the first element, the executive.
Yes.
The second element, the legislative, is the element that makes the basic laws. The legislature makes in Jamaica the Acts of Parliament, which lays down the laws that give us our rights, impose obligations on us, impose taxes on us, create offenses. That is the legislative power.
Yes.
And then the third organ, the judicial power, consists of the courts and the judges who decide on disputes between party and party, or the government and private persons, and therefore is an adjudicative body, which is in most democratic countries, the judiciary is kept separate, strictly separate from both legislative and executive organs.
Right.
In the parliamentary system, there is a close relationship between the executive and the legislative because the ministers, the people who make the policies, are usually members of the parliament and report to the parliament. In the presidential system, the head of the executive, the president, is not a member of the legislative arm, the Congress, and therefore there is a separation between executive and legislature,
Yes.
which creates, as you have seen, emphasized in the most recent periods of American history, creates serious conflicts and irresponsible behavior.
Yes. Okay. Right. And then, how is separation applied to these powers?
Well, it is the separation really means that the function of one is performed by that organ and not by the other organ.
Okay.
But more importantly, the separation is tested on the basis of control, so that we only have true separation of power in relation to the judicial arm, because neither the executive nor the legislature can dictate to the court how a particular case is decided. They can lay down the law which the court administers, but they can't tell the court how to decide a particular case.
Yes.
So the adjudication by the judges is independent of the legislature or the judicature,
Yes.
or the legislature or the executive.
And that brings me to a statement I saw this week, where the justice minister was critical of sentences passed on a rapist in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes, and justice minister was critical of the sentence handed down. He was saying that the person should be given life sentence, right? And,
whether it is proper for a minister to come out and make a statement like that or not is one question. But what that demonstrates is that he can't dictate to the court.
No.
He couldn't go and tell the judge, this is the sentence that you ought to impose.
No.
You see, so that his protest is a confession of his lack of control of the judiciary.
Yes. But as on the question of separation, we have the executive and the parliament and the judiciary. But when you examine it closely, the separation between the executive and the parliament sometimes is a bit foggy because the
Yes, when in the parliamentary cabinet system,
yes,
that separation is not maintained.
yes,
The executive cannot pass a law without the parliamentary support.
no,
But the fact that the executive in the parliamentary system is part of the parliament and usually consists of the majority party in the parliament means that the executive actually controls the legislature.
yes, sir.
But that is a function of the parliamentary cabinet system, which, as I say, exists in most democratic countries.
Mm-hmm.
Most countries at the top of the indices of democratic countries, the countries with the best record of democratic principles compliant are parliamentary cabinet system government and not presidential system governments as we have seen in South America, in Africa, and are now seeing in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 Dr. Barnett. And so in Jamaica, we would say that when it comes down to separation, the only one that we could say that is outstanding is the judiciary.
Yes, and I think that's very important because the rule of law requires independent and impartial adjudication.
Right.
And we couldn't have a situation in which politicians are dictating to the courts how they should decide cases.
Yes. But just on that, just right there, there, and I'm sure that you have heard this, there are suggestions that the senators should be elected. What do you think about that?
I've heard that suggestion, but I have a problem with it because the powers of the Senate are limited. And therefore, if it means electing them and giving them greater powers, you're going to have two legislative organs.
Yes.
Selected by the same people and having a conflict.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is in the interest of good government. The Senate is a reviewing body which has very limited powers, but gives a chance to reflect on what has come from the House and to initiate debates on general principles. We don't see enough of that. But when I was a senator, I know that my independent members and myself tabled motions on general principles affecting the national interest so that we could have general debates and ask questions about, government policies and implementation of policies.
Yes.
We're not seeing too much of that because the idea when senates are established in this way is although it might consist of party supporters or sympathizers, the persons appointed should have some degree of prestige and independence so that they can speak on national issues from that wider point of view and give a considered and helpful opinion on national matters. This has been achieved in some cases. We have had very outstanding senators, but I think it is important that we recognize that that is a real objective of the Senate, not to take charge of the legislative arm, but to be a reviewing body.
Yeah. One of the things that has crept into the appointments of senators in Jamaica, I think that Too many of those who have lost for
Yes,
yeah,
in the
in the lower house.
That is sometimes justifiable, but it should not be overdone.
Yes.
It shouldn't become a pattern in which persons who are defeated are opposed and assume a legislative responsibility on the parliamentary status.
Yes.
You know, it shouldn't be a normal thing. It should be exceptional. I wouldn't say that it should be excluded altogether, like in the way of a disqualification, but I think the party leaders and their selecting people should appreciate that they shouldn't be selecting very readily a person who has been defeated at the polls.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that leads me to something which is very important in our system, and that is convention. You know, an understanding of what is proper.
Yes.
Although not legally demanded, but you're just acting in accordance with some basic principles. You know, so like what we were discussing would be a guideline, though not a compulsive requirement.
Yes. Yeah. And you can see that's where we have to wrap it up now.
Yes.
And
all the best then.
Yes.
And
so,
let's continue the job of discussing this very important public.
So we'll say next week, Dr. Barnett, want to thank you very much.
Okay, all the best.
Yes. We have come to the end of our constitutional discussion for today. Yes. And we had with us Mr. Robert Stevens from the Advocate Network, along with constitutional lawyer Dr. Lloyd Barnett. Well, coming up next is Kingsley McCullough, the world of sports and entertainment. And stay tuned for that. Very exciting show. This is Rebel Radio. I'm Desmond Richards.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Get your home ready for summer!
Tools coming in hot!
With a whole heap of new arrivals and specials!
Everything for your bathroom, kitchen, living room.
In fact, for every space.
Porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles.
Windows, doors, and much more!
We have it all! Saving!
Home shop now! Big time sale at Tools Hardware!
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road.
Or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware!
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime, but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69. And there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, Track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact Crime Stop today.
Jamaica.
Best decision ever.
Feel the sand between your toes and the gentle waves of the sea on your skin. Feel the warm Jamaican breeze lift your spirits and nourish your soul. Escape to exactly what makes your heart beat. You will love every moment. Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Do it for your best life, wait. Go check your HIV status, wait. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me, I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom. Coulda husband, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life, wait. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life, wait. You're so unforgettable that I did in the past, so regrettable. I'm still loving you, even though you're gone. You're still on my mind. I do care for you.
Welcome to another beautiful rainy Friday. Another time right now on entertainment and sport. We have lots of events to talk about. What's coming up, happening on the weekend, interviews, and some good reggae music that we're going to play for our listening audience, and lot more that's happening in the world of sports and events to come. At this time, we're going to just take it away after the theme song, Land of My Birth with Eric Donaldson. And then we're going to go straight into our interview. We'll have a young lady from Canada. Name is El Tremor. We're going to be talking to her. She was recently here in Jamaica. As well as we're going to look at what happened in the Diamond League today, the events. Looking at the horse racing tomorrow. The cricket. West Indies wrapping up a series against Arab Emirates. Lots more within this 1 hour. We'll be going in depth. So stay tuned. This is Entertainment and Sport. Your host JJ Kingsley JJ McCullough.
Jamaica, the land of
Yes, well, so we're going to look at a little special event, boxing. I have a female, very interesting young lady out of Spanish Town, Brittany McFarlane, female boxer. She's doing a lot, and you're going to hear from her as well about her fights and what is coming up. That's Brittany out of Spanish Town, Jamaica. Very interesting young lady. Looking also tomorrow, the Champions League, NBA. The Denver Nuggets is up 2-1 against the Miami Heat. It's going to be another intriguing game. Champions League, Inter Milan is a clear underdog. Manchester City looking to close out the treble. Let us see what Inter has with Romelu Lukaku. Gundogan is on a good form. Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow morning in the Champions League. Tomorrow we'll get all that is happening. But for now, we'll just focus on... There is a race on the Diamond League that I want to get the result for. That 400 meters with Paulino, Nasser, and Sydney McCloughan from the USA. I didn't get the result for that race today. It's a race everyone is looking for, that 400 meter with Sydney McCloughan, the world record holder in the flat 400 meter hurdles, and she's attempting to do the flat 4 now to see how successful she can be against the season campaigners. I'll get to that if I can get the results for that and other Diamond League results. Yes, that's where the interest lies and what everyone needs to know. So stay tuned to Rebel Radio. Coming up shortly, we're going to talk to El Tremor out of Canada, who was recently here in Jamaica with Natty King at the event last week, Tuesday. Went on, but did have to halt due to showers that came down immediately. But it was good, and looking forward to that event this month and again, God's will. And we'll we'll have good weather again. Yes. So a little from now after the music, we're going to speak to El Tremor out of Canada and what she's been doing with her songs and her career, whatever she is going to do, whatever has done already. Yes.
Precious woman, Princess Flower. She always say, yo, she tougher than a raw. She don't like to stay at home, living on dependency. She says she have to struggle out there, yo. Just like a man you see, she's a precious woman. Princess Flower. She always say, yo, she tougher than a raw. Anything that is progressive, she always in the back. She works from 8 to 4 to keep her youth stabilized. She's a precious woman. Princess Flower. She always say, yo, tougher than a raw. In this time to say it, some women mind gonna stray. You better plant good seeds, yo.
I said greetings from Jamaica to Canada. It is an opportunity, to make such a connection and to find out what is going on. I didn't know when you leave Jamaica, I don't know. El Tremor, welcome to Entertainment and Sport.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure,
Yes, man. And not just only now, we're looking forward to things to come,
Yeah, man.
I want you to tell us how was it when you were here? What were you doing? And a little more about yourself, because what she's for, even though you get a brief introduction. I think others would be interesting to hear what you have to say with your music, your career, what you have done here and what is to come, you know. So we know you have that link and that connection with our brethren here, you know. So you can tell us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, El Chema is a reggae artist. Mostly I sing and stuff, and we're concerned positivity and to uplift and inspire others or those who are listening. My contexts are very clean, and I'm here to preach and teach through my music. And lately I've been on a tour. I call it a flood up tour, and you know, like
I've seen that.
Jamaica. But recently come back up. I come back up since yesterday evening.
Okay.
But you know, it was a fantastic moment in Jamaica. I get to go on shows and stuff, and you know, things like that. I'm here to have some really good show, you know. It make me want to come home again, you know. You know, because that's the foundation from birth. See what
All
I'm
right.
saying?
Would love to have you on something major that would be coming up before I don't want to put it too far before the end of the year. Is just you to tell us what you have done and what we can look forward to.
Okay. Recently, I put out a new single. It's called Get a Play. And if you listen to the music, you know, if you listen to the song, trust me, I know it will inspire each and everyone. Because nowadays, I notice a lot of people are taking on the music more.
This
and
one,
you
right?
Understand that.
The one that you sent me.
Like, repeat that, please.
The one that you sent me?
Yeah, man, the one I'm sending you, man, the Get a Play. It may rotate now in a globally there.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to send it out. All right.
Yeah, so that tune they know, like, as me I say, a lot of people are go through some good and, you know, bad, especially the bad time. And no matter what them are trying to do, it's like...
Hey, Chema, give me between 20 to 30 seconds. Hold on. Don't move.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that a lot of people are
Hold on.
And the youth them time, let's give them that shine. And the future out there with talent, and yet them a face some challenge. My rather see them hustle in the streets with a song than to hustle with a gun in a them. And if the youth them a play, a long time them a try. Don't leave them a broken. They are the future. We need to strengthen and support them. Make them song get a play, especially when it have a positive vibration. Make them song get a play globally. Compilation in rotation, make them song get a play. On the TV, sound and radio station, make them song get a play. And no money and time, put in a music production. Don't ever turn your back on the future of tomorrow. Don't leave them in tears, it's time to wipe away their sorrows. Show the youth them love, cause they are our blessings. Listen to them while they sing themselves, they are expressing. Take the time to hear them out, from them you will learn. Through wisdom comes knowledge, it's time to get their turn. Make them song get a play, especially when it have a positive vibration. Make them song get a play globally. Compilation in rotation, make them song get a play. On the TV, sound and radio station, make them song get a play. And no money and time, put in a music production. As a youth growing up with my music, I've seen many open doors. I couldn't get through them, and it keeps on happening more and more. So I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like. It has become a big problem. Them highlighted all of the nonsense. The youth them have a big dream, and they wipe out all that big sense. Make them song get a play, especially when it have a positive vibration. Make them song get a play globally. Compilation in rotation. Make them song get a play.
On every TV, sound and radio station, make them song it a play.
Okay. Enjoyable, man. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Enjoyable.
Thank you.
Anyway, what we would love to do is to know when you're going to, if you're doing a album, or what production you're doing now, coming up for the future.
Okay. Like right now, I just promote the single, and I have some shows coming up. People are booking me up till right now as we speak, and yeah, and for the future, honestly, the big show I want to go pan still, and I'm planning, and but really want to reach on it, and I want to go pan the Sumfest thing,
Okay. So
yeah, man, or even if I sing, one of them big audience, I'm looking forward to, go on that.
anybody
But,
contact
right now,
Johnny Guzang? You made any link with them?
there's something in the making, and there's something, but I don't really want to talk out, I don't really
Yeah.
want to give the people them, I don't really want to come out with that yet, but because I'm one of the artists them who doesn't expect the unexpected, you know what I mean?
I see. New
Like
package.
earthquake,
Yeah, I understand.
So when it comes,
The
just
name,
drop it on them.
the name El Tremor is like, you want to say Earth Tremor. Is that it get it from?
It's more like a vibration, powerful.
Yes,
you know?
something like, yes, I understand.
Tremor, like the earthquake itself, yes.
Yeah,
but
man.
L is a French pronoun.
You're coming with a vibration.
Right, a lady with full of vibration.
All right.
Powerful.
Tours and things to come now. Yes, let us know what's coming up.
Can you repeat that, please?
Your tours that is coming up and things for you.
Okay, I would say this would be my first tour, Spladup tour, Macaulay, because I have a slang called Spladup. It means anything that sound and look good fully up to the top. Just want the people them to know what Spladup mean. But I'm looking, because I can act too when I write plays and stuff. So I have a lot of things in the making.
Very
I do
talented.
flyers, I do advertisements, a lot more, man.
All right. Sounds
It's just
interesting.
something I love.
Sounds interesting.
Just call it this. I'm a woman filled with talent, talented, very talented, and I like to share, whatever I'm enjoying or full join.
Yes.
I just bring it to the people, them, Whatever make me happy, I share it, Whether music, whether doing a painting, or to me, everything for me is art,
Okay.
Every single thing for me do is art.
It's
Yeah,
art.
man.
That means it have a uniqueness about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, just like that. The thing of it is split ups, and as I said, split ups is anything that sounds or look good fully up to the top. So right now it's a split ups moment me I have right now.
Send that to me with the meaning. Send it to me with the meaning that we can get to understand.
Okay.
So we're in Canada. You hang out, or where exactly?
I'm in Toronto.
Okay.
I'm from Jamaica, but right, so back and forth, because right now it's gonna be that for me, back and forth.
Understand.
From here to Jamaica, and even to other countries, because I'm getting feedback, like people want me to be in Africa, people want me to be in Germany, a whole lot of things come in Elshama way, and that it's like a tsunami, it's an earthquake come with tsunami, right?
Yeah, a big wave.
And never flood the place.
All right.
It's happening.
I have a few minutes left with you. Just a few. The connection with Natty King now.
Okay, when I go up on the tour, I'm have to big up Masani still, Rasta Fest, because if it wasn't for her,
Yes.
this would have never really happened. It would have happened, but it would have happened so fast.
Okay.
I have to big her up,
Yeah.
That's a Rasta Fest, because we did go down for a Rasta Fest showcase.
Yes.
And that did, I went down on the 23rd of June. What may I say? The 23rd of May.
May.
And then we were supposed to come back up on the 29th, but after that, that was Rastafest showcase, the whole of that time. But within that time, I've been doing interviews and stuff. So that is my spread up story right there. So I utilize my talent and, when it comes down to the showcase and stuff. But with the dip on my own since the 29th. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so,
yes.
So I have to big her up fully, yeah.
She started.
And, yeah, man, you have to say how she started, because, as me I say, me didn't go make it happen, but it happened before the time,
Okay.
For that. And there are quite a few people but more short to say, I know the time I go short, but they go just say this. Big up this Pladaps team. Them know themselves, especially Puppy Tail Boss.
Okay. Where them from?
Big up yourself. Just spoilers, the Surrey Runner Spoilers.
Yes.
Foundation from birth and Louis Culture, one of them start out to this.
I understand,
yes. It inspire me, so I pass it on to others out there.
What you have to do, make them know, tell them about the link, share it with them, and let them know, say, this is one of the places that you talk to, and I go push your thing, you know. Send it out to them.
Man.
Yes,
hey,
man.
This is just the beginning, you know.
Okay.
This is just the beginning. I already did that promote the thing, you know. I send something to you. I already did that promote it.
Okay.
And so I love to share. I love to globalize the thing.
All right.
The link is not done yet. It's not stop. It's just a start.
Yeah, man. Because we're in another country as well, and we look forward to meet them here and know what Rebel Radio, entertainment and sport, mostly reggae, dancehall, yes. But it have to be clean stuff we're dealing with, you know?
Right.
We're looking forward. We're looking forward to continue. All right.
Yeah, man, no problem. And give thanks. It's a pleasure having me on, you know?
I'm going to be in touch with you because there are some things that are maybe coming up before year end, and I can make requests and make you know if you're going to be needed, etc. So I will be in touch.
No problem. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Whenever, man. Whenever. I'm here.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Give thanks again, man.
This has been El Trema, Spladaps Boss, out of Toronto, Canada. Yeah, man. We are getting it now. So, looking forward to seeing and hearing from her again. You can listen to this tune again. It's going to try to get used to it, Jamaica, and everywhere else around the world, because it's really going to take off, and she is going to take off. Thank you very much. This is Rebel Radio, entertainment and sports. I'm going to do something for a while, but we're going to just come out and hearing her song again for the last time. Yes, respect.
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Blessings.
Na na na. And yet them a face some challenge. My rather see them hustle in the streets with a song than to hustle with a gun in a them. And give the youths them a play. A long time them a try. Don't leave them a broken. They are the future. We need to strengthen and support them. Make them song get up there. Especially when it have a positive vibration. Make them song get up there. Globally. Compilation in rotation, make them song get up there. On every TV zone and radio station, make them song get up there. Enough money and time, put in a music production. Don't ever turn your back on the future of tomorrow. Don't leave them in tears, it's time to wipe away their sorrows. Show the youths them love, cause they are our blessings. Listen to them while they sing themselves, they are expressing. Take the time to hear them out, from them you will learn. Through wisdom comes knowledge, it's time to get their turn. Make them song get up there, especially when it have a positive vibration. Make them song get up there, globally. Compilation in rotation, make them song get up there. On every TV zone and radio station, make them song get up there. Enough money and time, put in a music production. As a youth growing up with my music, I've seen many open doors. I couldn't get through them, and it keeps on happening more and more. So I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like. It has become a big problem. Them highlighted all of the nonsense. The youth them have a big dream, and they wipe out all that makes sense. Make them song get up there, especially when it have a positive vibration. Make them song get up there, globally. Compilation in rotation.
Yes, that is a talented El Tremor. Yes, so I'm looking forward to hosting her again between Canada and Jamaica. Yes, and we want to be in touch. I know there are a lot of more events coming up again. At this time, we are going to take a short break, and when we'll be back, we'll be talking with a young lady out of Spanish Town. Hot boxer, female boxer, Brittany. Yes, so we looking forward to hear what she said about her fights. You know, she has been so successful, and what is to come, we're going to hear from her. You know, we don't normally hear much about female boxing, but she is a success so far in Jamaica. And we want to hear of our program and her training and what she did before, what is to come. So we're going to talk to Brittany after the next 2 minutes. We're looking forward to do that. Yes.
I swear that girl will be the only one for me, the one that makes my life complete. Yeah. And when I find that girl, I hold her down. I swear that girl, she'll be the one that conquers me. My love will take control of me. Yeah. Would you be at one of my shows? Good love is almost like all of a alone. Oh no. Would you be in front of my face? Yeah. Good love, something that I wanna embrace. Yeah. I got a king size bed, but no queen to share it with me. Say that I wanna know your name.
Hello, Brittany, you're online. Welcome to Entertainment and Sport. Hello?
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes. Welcome.
Yes, I'm here. Welcome.
Okay. Yes, just checking in on you now to see, you know, we have been tracking and seeing how you are making progress. And it will be interesting for you to tell us the progress that you are making, what is to come, and you know you have been successful in what you are doing so far. And tell us who are your management, you know, things that brought you at this level now, and how far you have reached now as a female boxer. You know, because yes, we are tracking you, and we see that you are really performing. You can let us know what's happening now. Brittany, out of Spanish Town.
Well, you know, I've been boxing for a while. I've been boxing for at least 5 years now. You know, went to Caribbean Championships. I've been to a lot of nationals. So I've been representing the country very well. As you all know, I just came back from Guyana and I won gold over there.
Okay.
Right? Yes, sir. And right now, the level that I see myself going is going to the Olympics to represent Jamaica right now.
That's next year?
You know? Well, for this Olympics,
Paris.
For Paris, that one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm pushing myself towards right now.
So how is training? How is the training going at this time? And you know, are you with any of the guys like Moncrief or any of those boxers? Which gym? You know, who is helping you? Things like those.
Well, right in the JDF gym at Upward Camp. That's where I'm training now. But, you know, I've been training with Sakima Mullins and Itman Russell.
Yes,
and Richard Frog Holmes. I've been training with those boxers.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What's your weight division? What division? What weight you're fighting?
Well, I'm currently fighting at light welterweight, sir.
Okay. Any opponents that is coming up, or what the schedule for that is coming up might be a month or so from now in Jamaica or overseas?
Okay. Well, there's a fight coming up for the first of next month at the Sugar Knockout Gym in downtown. For that fight, they said they're trying to get a female for me, so it's on pending. We're not sure exactly if I'm going to fight as yet, but we're working on it.
All right. I know you have quite good handlers there, especially Sakima Mullings, a friend of mine from the time of the contender. Years now, really among Sakima. You know, but it's quite a while now I haven't seen him. Last time he was at the Stanley coach, and you know, I know he's busy. So you are in good hands from your camp. And if he's at the JDF, well, that's where I am. And maybe one day when you come over to the gym, or you know, cause I always pass by over there, you know, I can know when to see it, because that's where I do my other job different from here. Yeah. So, but I just want to wish you all the best and on your future, and we'll be keeping in touch with you and following your progress. Is there anyone else you want to make of note that you want to tell us before you go?
Yes, I would want to say I have a good coach, Mr. Gilbert Voss from the JDF. He's actually the national coach and my personal coach. I would like to say he's doing a really, really good job, because for this competition coming up,
yes,
and the competition that I just went to,
yes,
he was a big help with that competition to help me prepare, you know. So I would want to say thanks to him and the rest of my team that was supporting me, and my friends and family that was supporting.
Is getting you in shape? Okay, that's good.
Yes, sir. And right now, you know, the next
event?
Because I don't have any sponsorship now. Well, yes, I'm trying to get some sponsors.
Okay, through this program, through here, like you just tell me now, and is boxing is a energy sport. Let me see what can happen now. I will see what can happen. Not making a promise, but through whatever connection and Rebel Radio, we can give you some assistance in one way or the other by promoting or anything, you know. So we will see what can take place. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would be a big help for me, and I would really appreciate it.
What I would really want to know before we go from here is just a date, future dates that are coming up for you. You know, that will do as well. You can left that in the message box. When you will be having a fight with a local or here, just to see how your progress is making, and to give you whatever assistance we can to that you can be successful in your attempt of what you are doing right now. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Brittany, out of Spanish Town, and the name of the gym?
It's the JDF gym. JDF boxing gym.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to seeing you and keeping in touch while you're making your progress. Thank you for that we can have you on Entertainment and Sport on Rebel Radio Jamaica 1. Okay.
Okay, thank you for having me on your show, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay. That was Brittany, a young amateur boxer, but she's making some progress, and we're gonna just keep in touch with them, and especially like how she's by the JDF. Well, that sounds interesting. We'll be taking close note of that. At this time, we're going to take a break on Entertainment and Sport, Rebel Radio 1 Jamaica, and we'll be right back shortly.
get through these years. It always seemed the end was near. But look at us now. Look what we found. We're soaring high, way off the ground. You gave me wings. Now I can fly. Bursting through the clouds. We're shooting high, like a star across the sky.
Okay, I've got some news coming out of the Diamond League that has gone by. In that 400-meter race, it was Paulino from the Bahamas who won in a time of 49.12. And, you know, the other girl, what we were looking for, Sydney McLaughlin, like, didn't factor much at all, you know. She's just trying to understand the 400 meters now because she's coming out of the hurdles, and it's going to take her some time, I can tell you, to get used to it and to beat these top ones that are used to it. Even though she had a fast split time on that relay leg, most people had believed that McLaughlin could have overturned and beaten up the regular 400 meter run, but she'll have to learn more about this event to take on the likes of Paulina from Bahamas and Al Nassar, from Qatar, as well as the other veterans them coming up in this distance. It's going to be an interesting season when it comes to the World Championship. A lot of events and so going to unfold. A lot of surprises I think is going to really take place at the World Championship and even at some of the Diamond League spots. But I want to say this. Right now, at this stage where the Diamond League is, it's just points and qualifying because the big event is going to be in Zurich, September. So I don't count on these results much. Person can just come and run because them sponsor and everything and people asking them to appear. So result on the Diamond League now is not that much. Might be for bragging rights, yes. But the big occasion when you win the diamond and your purse and that wild card is when this is going to happen in Zurich, September, that you lift the diamond trophy. Because a lot of time you have Olympic and world champions who, didn't do much on the circuit and they only want to qualify. But the big time is when the final, when the prizes are going to give. So I'm not going to take anything away from Sydney McLaughlin. Maybe she's just learning how to run this 400 meter because these ladies, Paulino, Al Nassar, are doing this event long before her. She's a 400 meter hurdles and I don't think there's anyone now to touch her in the hurdles. I don't know what the form Femke Ball and Delilah Mohammed are in, but she has put them away and she has separated herself from those who run in the hurdles. So we're going to wait and see how much she can learn from this experience going forward and to see how she's going to measure up with Paulino, Nassar, and even the Jamaicans, our own Stephanie and McPherson and the others, It's going to be very grueling. Not going to be that easy. Yes. So we are going to see how that works out. Next thing now, I want to shed a little thing on the Champions League that is coming up tomorrow. In Istanbul, where Manchester City will be taking on Inter Milan and, looking for that unique treble, FA Cup, English Premier League and now the Champions League. City has never won the Champions League before and it is what Pep Guardiola wants to do since he arrives in England. He haven't been successful where the Champions League is concerned. Out of 5 seasons, he has won 4 of the English Premier League, dominating it. He has proven himself there. So let us see if he can get over the line tomorrow, with this Inter Milan team. But Inter Milan have a formidable striker in Romelu Lukaku, who is known for his goal-scoring prowess. And let us see if they can nullify this Manchester City team. which is not totally impossible because even Manchester United, who lost the FA Cup last Saturday, so that they can compete with them. So let us see what Inter Milan has to offer tomorrow, Saturday, and let it unfold. Okay, tonight is going to be game 4 in the NBA at this is going to be at Denver, and Denver is up 2-1. I don't know night before that Miami did not really factorize because they didn't really make an impact on that game, and Denver won pulling away. But I know it's going to be different tonight because Miami is coming and they're going to make a go for it like in game 2. They wouldn't want to be 3-1 up going back to Miami. They are going to try and get it things even heading back to their home. Jimmy Butler and his team are going to have a tough time tonight to really trying to equalize, going 2-2 up. And for those who want to know how this game is going to play, I don't know if they are listening now. I know that both things are the score is going to be, my prediction, the score is going to be over 215. It's going to be between 215, 220. It's not going to be unders. So for those who think the game is going to be tight, like low 200, it's going to be high 200, between 215 and 220. That's where match is going to be, but it's going to be close. And I know Miami is going to make a run for it. The Jimmy Butler and company would have to lift their games. Jokic is going to be his usual self, and you can expect him to have a game high there. So let us see how the matchup goes tonight. This time we're going to we were at the event at Natty King's last Tuesday, and we captured some moment of it with him on stage, even though it had ended prematurely. We want to share some of that with you, and we're going to just do that. Yes, a minute from now, we're going to do that and share that thing with Natty King when he was doing his set at that show Tuesday night. Okay. Okay.
So the rest of people them just want to wave the red, green and gold banner. Can you know that's the last year with Anna, don't it? The one of them here Rastafari.
Here Rastafari, Baba Janai.
Yo! I like to them to sing them song, you know. I think I'm proud of J.A. style. So many songs we have to sing on the stage show. I'm flex them out now.
Here Rastafari, Baba Janai. Here the Most High. Aye. Oh, Rastafari, Baba Janai, El Selassie, aye. All we need to do is praise Him. Oh yeah, shall we do anything for you? Oh yes. Enemy, you're going out and forward in. Oh well, because He's so precious and so true. Hey, you Rastafari, Abba, pull up. Give me one day.
Yeah, I think it's sick like that. I move some. I want to hear Rastafari from the album. See? Number 3 track. Just stream it.
You Rastafari, Baba Janai, you're the Most High. Aye. Oh, Rastafari, Baba Janai, yes, El Selassie. All we need to do is praise Him. Now we'll do anything for you. Enemy, you're going out and forward in. Because He's so merciful and true. Come on, people. You're Rastafari. Come on. Baba Janai. Oh, yes. You're Selassie. Oh, oh, Rastafari. Oh, Baba. I hear the Most High. Conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. El Selassie is the creator. He's the maker. He's the savior. So I Babylon can't devour. I'm on a prison every minute, every hour. I listen Selassie and you pull me up and power. Right now your blessings are shower. King Negus can't make me so far as Rastafari. Hey Baba Janai, I hail the Most High. Oh Rastafari, Baba Janai, hail the Most High.
That was J.A. Style Tuesday, last Tuesday gone at 56 Brentford Road. This event you normally keep every last Tuesday of the month. But why it had kept is due to the postponement of the week before. It went okay for a time before the rain came, and you know that was Natty King doing his set at the time. And we're looking forward to having it this month and again. Yes, with lineup of artists and you know the youths to make the promotion, the progress, you know. Giving back, that is the motto of Natty King, giving back and helping out, you know. Also, he's looking forward to having his tour that is coming up next month, you know, and to help out those in the industry to make progress in their music, and that is the opportunity Natty King is providing for the youths and for those who are seeking a way out, you know, with their music and their talents. J.A. Style Tuesday, every last Tuesday, 56 Brentford Road in Crossroads. So that is that for now. We have a few minutes left for coming to a close. This is entertainment and sports. And those are the latest that we can give you. And, you know, to keep in touch with the artists, the athletes. Okay, another result coming out of the Diamond League is that Noah Lyles that 200-meter specialists have won the 100 meters. A man who normally sprint at 2 coming to win the one. Yeah. And that thing I have to say, the 100 meter for men at the World Championship coming up, is going to be a surprise, right? And I know Jamaica have a little surprise, and it's really gonna unfold. The veteran Ewan Blake was in the race, he did well, but he's keeping his form, and that the national trials is coming up at stadium, and it's gonna be hot, and we're going to see all the questions being answered with the young emerging Alana Reid and the Clayton twins. I heard that Kevona Davis is coming back into form. Ashanti it's going to be very hot amongst the females, I can tell you from now, in the sprints, the 100 and the 200. I know the veterans, Shelley, Elaine, time is coming up, but, the young ones are really going to come and make their claim, but I know the veterans are really preparing themselves because everybody is eager to make this team going into Hungary for the Hungary for the World Championship coming up. I think it's gonna be a good year for Jamaica. We may not have the success at the time when Bolt and company, Vernica, Million Walker, that medal haul. We don't know if we're going to see but we're going to make presence felt in the sprint. I know we are going to hop there with the Americans because they are our rivals. We are their rivals, and they really want us to surrender to them. But Jamaica, through their ladies, are not ready. And how I see the 100 meters, it's going to be competitive. There are some hidden talents that are not being exposed here in Jamaica and other places. So we are going to look out for some keen competition in the World Championship. Anyway, we are coming to a close, and we're looking forward to, a lot of events on the weekend. We're going to tune in for that Champions League. Congratulations to the West Indies winning a series against UAE 3-0. But they are coming up, and it's the world. The qualifiers are coming up. Let us see how the West Indies handle that down in Zimbabwe, because it's hard right now to see that West Indies is playing a qualifier to qualify a World Cup that is coming up. Coming from the heights, it's really sad, but let us see how the men them can progress. And even though some people never like the idea of Darren Sammy being the coach, just give him, because I think he can get the cooperation from some of the team members. I don't want too much old men. You have to give others a chance to show their skills and see what they can come up with in this team selection that is going to represent the West Indies later down this year. Okay, as well as the Reggae Girls and the Netball World Cup. We're looking forward that the Sunshine Girls, yes, is a good squad of youth and experience, and I know that they are going to, go beyond that bronze medal. Jamaica is looking to go one better in the Netball World Cup, as well as for the Reggae Girls. Now they're in a tough group, but I don't think it is impossible for Jamaica to come out of that group and qualify for the round of 16. Jamaica has a talent, can get the better of Brazil. If the team can just gel together and put the passes together, they can come out of the group. And I know that Coach Lon Donaldson will be putting these girls together because they have been together for a while, coming from out of the other World Cup. And it's not going to surprise me if they make it to the round of 16. And I'm looking forward for them to that. They're going to bring some surprise, especially with Khadija Shah. She is a talisman, She's like the Holland. Yeah. Yes, and she's going to make her presence felt at the World Cup. I can see that. We don't know anything about the France, but I know that the girls can really get out. But I want to even write off Panama, but I know that Jamaica can come out of that group. We're looking forward to it. Anyway, this has been entertainment and sport. It's time to wrap up. Yes. Just want everybody to know that this is the land of my birth, Jamaica. Looking forward to our Jamaicans doing well, both in the sports and entertainment, and making our presence felt worldwide. I want to say even thanks for listening. My friends in Philippines, First Vita Plus, big up on yourself. Merlita, Gapayas, yes. Looking forward to doing business with you, with the brand. Okay. So take care, and we'll be with you another evening again, and more on entertainment and sporting world. This time we're gonna tune in back to Mr. Desmond Richards and this program, a very interesting program that you can listen, of affairs and things that's happening in Jamaica, Yes, looking forward. This is JJ, Kingsley JJ McCullough, out.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Get your home ready for summer!
Tools coming in hot pot!
With a whole heap on your arrivals and specials!
Everything for your bathroom, kitchen, living room.
In fact, for every space!
Porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles,
windows, doors, and much more!
We have it all!
Savings, savings, savings! Come shop now! Big time sale at Tools Hardware!
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware!
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime, but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact Crime Stop today.
Jamaica.
Best decision ever.
Feel the sand between your toes and the gentle waves of the sea on your skin. Feel the warm Jamaican breeze lift your spirits and nourish your soul. Escape to exactly what makes your heart beat. You will love every moment. Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Unexpected turbulence. Empress, I'd like to get to know you. Believe me, I have so many things to show you. In righteousness, I want to grow you. Let me tell you this. It was love at first sight when I saw you first night, and I knew from that moment that your thoughts and your deeds was golden. Goosebumps came all over me when I look into your eyes. You are so happy and free. I have to walk over and say, I need your name and number and where you reside. I need you by my side. I need your name and number and where you reside. Let's take a ride. I need your name and number and where you reside. Your beauty I just can't divide. I need your name and number and where you reside. Oh. My name is Turbulence and Rastafari way me choose it. Occupation is singing and making music. My hobbies are reading and playing football. But most of all I like to have you when the rain no fall. And give you sweet love when the nature call. The Rasta never bow, we always standing tall. Let's procreate, baby, do not stall. For your figure miss enough man a ball. That's why I need your name and number and where you reside. I need you by my side. I need your name and number and where you reside. My feelings can't hide. I need your name and number and where you reside. I need you by my side. I need your name and number, yeah. Be my first priority, that's a fact. Yo, that's a guarantee. In your arms is where I wanna be. Girl, you're perfect for me. Oh yeah. Please be my lady. Oh yeah. You drive the bingy crazy, crazy for you, only you. You turn my gray skies blue. I need your name and number and where you reside. I need you by my. I need your name and number and where you reside. Your beauty, I just get the vibe. I need your name and number and where you reside. I look into your eyes, you're full with pride. Filled with pride, yeah. I need, yeah. It was love at first sight when I saw her first time, and I knew from that moment her thoughts and deeds was golden. Goosebumps came all over me because I looked into her eyes and knew I'd be every. Oh, in your arms is where I wanna be, yeah. Oh, baby, you drive me wild.
Now listen what them say, yeah. Now listen to them there, yeah. Now follow what them say. Then we say you out and make poverty get wet. Sure. Free, poor people be free. In every community, we burn this unity, burn this honesty. Poor people be free. Shed some light with clarity. I'ma tell them say the crime it caused by the poverty. Watch out. Forward we go, we now we non-stop. Up it up, get on youths, cause we non-drop. None of them we sell you out, they call them one spot. Them no feel to eat your food like them a chop. Done, arms house we done, poor house we done, courthouse we done, jail house we done, dead house we done, arms house we done, poor house we done. See that? The youth them want a brighter way, and the youth them want a brighter day. Babylon them just a fight away. Tell them to free your poor people right away. Them run your water and your light away. Injustice, take away your rights away. Then them send me so then to take your life away. It's like them want to night and day. That one your name. Forward me going and me non-stop. Up it up, get to you because we non-drop. Don't for sell you out because them want spot. I'm not afraid to eat your food like them a chop. Done, arms house we done, courthouse we done, poor
house fi done, jail house fi done, dead house fi done, arms house fi done, poor house fi done. The youth them progressive, Babylon possessive. Them fight reggae music as a hit a carry the message. Music alone shall teach them the lessons. Rastafari reggae must be glory and the blessings. So me say free, poor people fi free. In every community, we born in disunity, we born dishonesty, we born partiality, we want equality. So shed some light with a lot of clarity. Alright, so me go so yo. Forward we go, we not stop. Up it up, get to you because we not drop. No for them we sell you out because them want spot. And no fear to eat your food like them a chop. Forward we go, we not stop. Me say pump up the rhythm, make it one clap. And no worry about it, but me say up and worry about me say this and me say that. Now one you now listen what them say, yeah. Now listen to them there, yeah. Now follow with them there, 'cause them will sell you out and make poverty get where, yeah.
Hey, I guess it's true, I'm not good at a one night stand, but I still need love, 'cause I'm just a man. These nights never seem to go to plan. No, I don't want you to leave, will you hold my hand? Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. But darling, stay with me. Oh, why am I so emotional? No, it's not a good look, gain some self-control. And deep down I know this never works, but you can lay with me so it doesn't hurt. Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. Darling, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. Darling, stay with me. Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see now, baby. Darling, stay with me. Stay with me. 'Cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. Darling, stay with me. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Baby, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. This ain't love and it's clear to see. Darling, stay.
I ain't gonna think
Give it to me, do
it to me, give it to me. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. The way you make me feel, from deep down in my soul, I'm losing all control. Girl, I can't fight this feeling. Feels alright. Champagne and candlelight. The way you hold me tight. Girl, I can't fight this feeling. Oh no.
Woman, you're nice. Smile on your face, it's like you rise up on my life. When you can't wait to give you everything you like. Hope you from the day your Christmas sight. I guarantee that you'll be satisfied and be a breakable to rules. And to better things, so tell the little man to cool. I'm a lucky star, I can't believe I found a tool. And them all a swat you on a tool. So make them know say that me have the tool.
Will you make me feel from deep down in my soul? I'm losing all control. Girl, I can't fight this feeling. It feels alright. Champagne and candlelight. The way you hold me tight. Girl, I can't fight this feeling. Oh no.
Woman, you bring the niceness, priceless. Girl, you have the place. Bossy, I forget. Yes, I love the chase. You know, say, no bagger man can't come call your name. All where you gonna, you me claim. Woman, your body tight, matter. Woman, you really blessed. Polite, proper, out above the rest. You are my darling empress. That's why, girl, I confess.
Yeah. Passion, passion. You dance and you smile, you beckon. And I just know what it is you reckon. Give me more, give me more. More, yes. Hey, Miss Kisses, I'm gonna grant you your wishes. And you can bet on your 4-leaf clover. I'm gonna love you over and over. The way you make me feel from deep down in my soul. I'm losing all control. Girl, I can't fight this feeling. No, it feels alright. Champagne and candlelight. The way you hold me tight. Girl, I can't fight this feeling. Oh no. Love me more. Love me more. Love me till I want no more. Yeah. Oh yes. Love me more. Love me more. Love me till I want no more. Love you like that, girl.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in, then you're kicking me out. Got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in your beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride. And I'm so dizzy, don't know what it means, but I'll be alright. My head's on the water, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me, yeah. Oh, you give me all of you, yeah. How many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down and around to every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm over my mind. 'Cause all of me lost all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your heart to me, I'll give my hand to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. I'll give you all of me, girl. Yes, you give me all of you. Yeah, give me all of you. Cards on the table, we're both showing cards, risking it all, although it's hard. All of me lost all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your heart to me, give my heart to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. I give you all of me, yeah. You give me all of you. Ooh, girl, yeah. I give you all of me. Ooh, baby. You give me all of you. Yeah. You're my downfall. You're my When I find that girl, I knock her down, I swear that girl will be the only one for me. The one that makes my life complete. Yeah, and when I find that girl, I hold her down, I swear that girl, she'll be the one that conquers me. My love will take control of me. Yeah. Would you be in one of my shows? Good love. It's almost like all of it alone. Oh, no. Would you be in front of my face? Yeah. Good love. Something that I wanted to breathe. Yeah. My heart against size bed, but no queen to share it with me. Saying that I wanna know your name right now, right now. When I find that girl, I knock her down, I swear that girl will be the only one for me. The one that makes my life complete. Yeah, and when I find that girl, I hold her down, I swear that girl, she'll be the one that conquers me. My love will take control of me. Yeah. Could it be my next door neighbor? Real love, I keep me on my best behavior. Yeah. Could it be my closest friend? Yeah. Real love, make it never be the same again. No. Got a fancy car, but no one's around with me. control of me. Yeah.
Jamaica.
Best decision ever.
Feel the sand between your toes and the gentle waves of the sea on your skin. Feel the warm Jamaican breeze lift your spirits and nourish your soul. Escape to exactly what makes your heart beat. You will love every moment. Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Yeah. Baby, this one is for you. Good morning. If you're not with me, then I'm calling. I need to know where you are. I would go anywhere you are. Yeah, yeah. Good morning. You know I'm tired of the calling. Baby, I need you 'cause I'm burning. Right now I travel to the stars. I'm tired of the late night news. I wanna call you when I wanna call you. What we did yesterday was so news. Wait a minute, please, by the rule. It's just the way we live, the way we live, let go. We just spend time in a beach, baby, let's go. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet on the line. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet every time. Good morning, I see you miss my last calling. Right now I'm riding in my car, heading straight to where you are. Whoa, yeah. Good morning, yeah. I really needed this morning. Since the last call, I've been waiting for you to show up. Really chatting and people aren't sober. Tired of the late night news, yeah. Wanna call when I wanna call. What we did yesterday was so news. Wait a minute, please, but it's just the way we live, the way we live, let go. We just spend time in a beach, baby, let's go. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet on the line. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet every time. Telephone love. Telephone love, telephone love. Telephone love, telephone love. Telephone love.